good.
That was good. Welcome back. B team, we're here again. This is our new recording session. It's Sunday.
Yep.
Right after the 4 o'clock game. So we'll go through what just happened with the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games currently, and the game upcoming. We'll give our picks, talk about that a little bit. But at the moment, we are watching, the camera's on me, Muller's TV's here, watching Sam Darnold in the pocket, and he crawls up, he's getting sacked, and he fumbles the ball,
he fumbled.
and the Rams recover.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Fourth quarter.
25 seconds left, and the Rams are going to win.
25 seconds left, fourth quarter. Sam Darnold fumbles, game 21-20, giving it to the L.A. Rams. Look at McVay. He knew the spread. He knew the spread. He's like, no, we can't do that. Rooting for Darnold. I'm glad he's back in Cali. God, I miss him. But we are back. There he is. Oh, he just gave the F-bomb. We'll see you on Bob Does Sports, buddy. Darnold.
Chance, man.
That looks all too familiar.
He had a chance. Do you think he tries to say that was a throw? Is there any part of him's like, Coach, I swear I was throwing.
Let's see here.
Arm was going forward.
Ooh,
oh, you know what? That is a fumble.
Yeah.
Yep, fumble.
Look at Wentz. Wentz taking the knee here. Unbelievable. We're watching Wentz versus Sam Darnold. Who would have thought?
Unreal. Well,
by the way, the Rams spread was 3.
Yep. They won by 1.
So
good for them.
So 12-4 or 12-5 was the record. That was the best record for two teams. So we're looking at the playoff picture now. We got
playoffs
division leaders: the Niners, the Cowboys, Lions, Bucks. After their win against the Panthers, wild card, we got the Birds, Rams, and now the Packers, who just clinched. So Seahawks are playing for nothing right now since Green Bay won. That's a real. So right now we're looking at Green Bay and Dallas playing each other.
Yep.
It'd be the Lions and the Rams, and then we got the Eagles and the Bucks. Dude, I hate to. This is crazy because I feel like the last couple of years, the AFC playoff picture has been the one to really this is gonna be sick. Mm-hmm. It's the NFC this year. It's not even close, dude. Green Bay versus Dallas. Tell me that doesn't freak you out a little bit.
Well, it's flashbacks, but I think we'll be all right because it's in Dallas.
It is flashbacks. Rams and Lions, I think this is going to be the best playoff game.
That could be an upset waiting to happen.
Dude, Matthew Stafford back in Detroit.
Laporta, you don't know if he's going to play.
Laporta, we don't know if he's going to play, dude. The Rams have been hot. And then Eagles-Bucks, last time they played first round of the playoffs, who got the boot? The Birds. So,
and that game was in Tampa Bay.
Yes, it was.
Now, the only thing there is Baker has a bummed ankle after today, so that'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Significant injury, and Kyle Trask is looking to take the reins at quarterback. But, I mean, look at the Birds right now. What I say last week, did you watch? I know we were watching the Cowboys-Commanders game, but the first half of the Eagles game, I know we're kind of bouncing around, but we'll just get into this game right now.
You just want to talk about the 4 o'clocks real quick?
Yes, we'll get into the 4 o'clock. We'll talk about the ones like, this is what I said last week. Where is the leadership from the Eagles?
Yep.
Where I literally said that, I'm not even gonna say, but they have no leadership right now, and this shit matters, man. Like, how many times are you just gonna watch Jalen Hurts just be calm? We're gonna call it calm. Like, dude, I'm not even a Birds fan, but I want to see that guy angry. I want to see that team angry as hell. AJ Brown being angry, that's what we want to see. Like, I know we were all really concerned before, but like now it's like, should they even be in the playoffs? Like, you just lost to Tyrod Taylor and the Giants. This is a must-win game to win the division. So let me ask you. So if the Cowboys and the Birds both won, would the Eagles take the tiebreaker? Because they would take the tiebreaker.
Today, if both of them had won. So if the Birds and the Cowboys won.
Yeah.
No, Cowboys win.
Oh, so the Cowboys, okay.
Cowboys had to lose and the Birds had to win for there to be any shot of the Birds
for them to clinch.
It.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the Birds, I mean, but now I'm just going to give an excuse here for Jalen Hurts. And Eagles fans, you'll probably hate this even though I'm helping you out. Jalen Hurts, after A.J. Brown left the game, so ready? He's without A.J. Brown, without Swift, was out without Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, he's missing everybody. And you're looking at a guy who's out there basically by himself, and then all of a sudden his finger is now flipping himself off. Like, it's really hard to play quarterback when you literally have no help. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, but at the same time, like, it's been weeks of this, and it's all been building up to this.
6 straight weeks.
And I thought this was going to be the game that would be on Christmas Day. I was wrong. It came in week 18.
But you were on the right track, though,
Yeah.
because you did say the Giants were going to beat them on Christmas Day, but in general, they did beat them. So.
Yeah, and
this wasn't a resting starters game either. I mean,
no,
they had injuries.
They had to win.
Yeah, it was an important game for them.
Yeah, and they blew it. They blew it really bad. They got shut out for the whole first half. It's just, I don't know I'm trying to help Eagles fans out here because I do feel bad for them. I'm in multiple group chats where I got hundreds and hundreds of messages today, and I didn't respond. I was a nice guy today. I said nothing, and like everything just comes back to Sirianni.
You know what?
Everything. They don't hate the players. They don't hate the fans. They don't hate the ownership. They don't hate Howie. It's literally, it all comes back to Sirianni.
Which I think
and
it should.
It's not even on the OC at this point.
No,
People
I agree.
didn't say
I agree
one
with
thing
you.
about the OC today. They didn't say anything about the DC.
I beg to differ.
No, well, from what I saw,
Fair.
it wasn't as bad as Sirianni.
Different
is what I'm
fans,
trying to get
gotcha.
at. And I just don't see a way forward for Sirianni, even if he wins this first playoff game.
Yeah, I think Sirianni is as a head coach after what you just did in the previous 2 years. You made it to the Super Bowl. You were they made it to the Super Bowl twice? No,
Once.
one time. Oh my God, I'm
Once.
losing my mind.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Sorry. But at this point, when this is now 6 weeks going, you're 1-5 in your last 6 weeks. Something should have changed after the second week, after the third week. The third week was your maximum to not let shit hit the fan, especially with Brian Johnson, who, again, Eagles fans, he's terrible. He's going to be gone. It's just going to show how much those coordinators matter to them. And Sirianni, you got to be a leader of men, and you gotta give positivity to these guys. Like, you got to get them back on track. He hasn't done it. Now they're 11-6. I mean, we thought the over/under other wins, I think it was 12.5. It was like 12.5, 11.5.
Yeah.
They didn't get it. I mean,
Right
it doesn't
on.
really matter, but I mean, come on, man. Like, now we're nervous. Maybe this is a playing chess move where now they could play the Bucks, and then after that they would play the Cowboys.
Mike, no.
But
let's not go down that hole because
we're not gonna.
You're any team in their right mind, no matter
Everyone
who
plays
you want
to win.
You want to play to win, and you
Absolutely.
want to play to have the home games.
Absolutely no. I
Like,
agree.
everything is better if you're playing at home.
Especially when you had the opportunity to clinch it too. But of course the Cowboys won, so didn't happen. But at least played to win. Shit.
And something to remember: if the Eagles had won, the Cowboys had lost. Eagles are the 2 seed. It's not like they would have been the 3 seed. Like, Lions
had the
needed
home field.
both to lose for them to jump to the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what happened, if the Eagles won, they gave themselves a shot to get the 2 seed and have home field advantage until the championship, barring upsets. And they came out like this. Now, I know they sat 2 guys to start the game, but they were pitiful even last week with everybody. So I don't know. Everything was so cute last year with Sirianni. You know, the antics on the sideline, them saying all this stuff. It's us against the world, hungry dogs. It's not so cute anymore. All of a sudden, the fans are seeing that, you know, when you're 5-4 on the road and you're making fun of the Cowboys for losing games to other people and they can't play on the road, all of a sudden it's not so cute when you're losing to the Cardinals and you're losing to the Seahawks, who the Cowboys beat, by the way. They beat the Seahawks in a shootout. Yeah, it's not so cute. And it's tough for me to sit here and not go off on the fans because I don't think they deserve that, because they're being put through what most fans go through, and I feel bad that they are having this type of reaction to it. But I don't know. Welcome to the real world. Welcome, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows over here, people. Eagles fans, you can't have it every year. You should have known you weren't going to win the division this year. No one repeats.
That's true. Since
No one repeats
2005.
in this division. Am I going out next year and expecting the Cowboys to win the division?
No.
Absolutely. Because Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the division. We have the best wide receiver in the division.
This is a clip.
Tony Pollard's coming back and playing better than ever next year. Still don't want him on my fantasy team.
Nah, he's not.
Our defense is better than your defense has been.
Muller, this isn't a good idea because I'm watching highlights on the TV and everything looks great. Look at Amon-Ra go.
I'm not talking about the Lions. I respect the Lions.
Amon-Ra's
They got
beast.
screwed, but we also got screwed that game, so I can respect them.
I think
I think that the Lions are the second best team in this conference behind the Cowboys because the 49ers are on another planet.
listen, everything's set in stone now with the playoff picture, so The Cowboys are going to be playing the Packers,
Yep.
who just clinched after a win against the Bears, who everybody was on.
Yep.
And Justin Fields ends the year 7-10, scores 9 points against the Packers, who, again, they're playing to play, and this was a game that everybody wanted them to win. They were favorites by 3 points. I don't want to get back into the draft stuff, but here we are, man.
Yeah.
Do you really think that Fields is going to be the guy? I don't. I know I was getting shit. I was getting shit for it on YouTube and TikTok about why the Bears shouldn't draft him, or they should let him go and draft a quarterback.
But that's a lot of Bears fans saying it, and a lot of Bears fans really like.
But it was
Justin
Civil War,
Fields.
according to Lucas.
I know.
It was Civil War. It was 50-50. And now a couple of pointless games down the stretch, and he's winning, and you're like, oh, we got to keep him. We got to get him back. Like, just take a step back, watch the film again, all 22, and look at his record. Think about if you really want him back and you want to get a trade haul. Again, this is exactly like the Sam Darnold situation. We had, guess he was number 2 pick? Number 2 pick. Number 3? No, number 2 with Zach Wilson. We're the number 2 pick. Yeah, so... Yeah, so Sam Darnold, we had the number 2 pick with Zach Wilson. We could have did the same thing. Trade a haul, get Panay, all this stuff. New GM, new coach come in. What do? They draft their guy. They saw what they wanted, and they drafted him. The same shit's going to happen, man. I'm telling you.
And I don't hate on them for doing that. I just hope that they don't screw Justin Fields with where they send him, because I do think he's a good quarterback. He's shown that over the last couple of weeks.
I think so, too.
He deserves what he's given them for what they've given him over the last couple of years, switching coaches constantly, and kind of putting
it's a business,
put him in,
dude. It doesn't matter.
I understand it's a business, but when you draft a kid and then you constantly screw him, I know it wasn't Poles that did it. I know that, but they got to see that side of it and at least make an effort to put him in a decent spot.
Atlanta,
and not. That would be a decent spot.
Atlanta, 100%.
Atlanta's
going to be calling them. Atlanta's going to be calling the Bears because they have so much shit to be thinking about and so much stuff on their plate. That is the most quarterback-needy team in this league.
They don't have a quarterback. Let's be honest. They would have been better off putting Bijan back there and just direct snapping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I thought Taylor Heineke was going to do something for them, but
he was injured. That
too, and Desmond just ain't cutting it, but Arthur Smith's going to go. That offense needs to be changed.
Did you see that he was pissed after the game?
Yeah, I was just watching it here. So what happened was the score was 41-10. A minute left in the fourth, they went and scored a touchdown. The Saints did, to make it 48-10.
Listen, they had to cover the spread for me. They had to cover the mortal. Minus three. They had to make sure it was locked, bro.
So Arthur Smith went up to Dennis Allen and was just like, "What? That's bullshit. Why the fuck are you doing that?" But apparently he called for a knee, but they wanted Jamal Williams to score a touchdown, so they just we're gonna run one right up the middle. So Dennis Allen was actually like, this is what happened. I didn't call for that. The players just did it. He kind of threw his players under the bus.
That's crazy that he did that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
He didn't even take the blame on that. So I don't know. After, I like to see him angry as a coach. Credit to Arthur Smith for that, but he's got to go, man. He's got to go.
Do that in his last game, dude. You know that might be your last game as an NFL head coach.
Might as well
walk off the field. You're gonna go run around and bitch and yell.
I think
going out sad.
I respect it.
I actually kind of respected it too, bro.
The only thing I don't respect is that he didn't throw a punch.
Yeah, I mean,
he should have laid.
He should have had got in his face, give a little headbutt.
If he threw the hat backwards, walked out there,
backwards hat guy,
straight into that guy's visor. Dude's trying to be Sean Payton out there. Come on, bro.
He did not walk over there like he means business. If Robert Saleh was approaching somebody like that, he'd be scared. Dennis Allen would be quaking in his boots.
Yeah, agreed. But it's wild too, because I feel like once they drafted Bijan Robinson, it was like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Is this how the year is going to go? You take Bijan, who was probably the best running back in the class, but you had a guy who rushed over 1,000 yards as a rookie too. Well, what are we doing here? We're just playing fantasy at this point. I don't know what's going on, but
and then Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, he's just a blocking tight end, picked 4 overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. Look.
This-
So a minute and 13 left. So they were in the formation to do a
All
QB.
right. Actually, I
It was a QB kneel. Look
No,
at him. Look at him.
yeah. No, looking at that, I actually didn't see the
I
play.
was walking away though.
I didn't actually see it because I was watching the other game. I was watching the end of the Bucks game because I needed to see how Baker would finish up there, and I didn't see how that game ended. That's insane what they did. I cannot believe they were in victory formation, ran the ball.
Yes, they were
for
in
a
victory
touchdown.
formation.
That's crazy town. That they deserve a suspension.
Funny stat here: Jamal Williams led the league in NFL touchdowns last year with around like I think it was 17. That was the only touchdown he scored all year. Was that play?
That play right there.
That play right there was the only touchdown he scored all year.
Well, I have a question. Did he need one more touchdown for a big incentive?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
I mean, if you have an incentive for one touchdown, then there's something wrong there. Look at Bryce. Oh my God, this poor kid. Okay, no, let's get into the other game. So,
well, do you want to? Yeah, what game do you want to get into?
I want to talk Colts Texans.
Me too. I feel so bad for that kid. He does not deserve the hate.
He does not at all.
Like the Colts,
it's like 75% Gardner, 25% him.
Yeah, like he's getting way too much hate for that.
I feel for him, man. Guys, did you see that
reading
too?
that quote after the game broke my heart for him. No player should feel like that.
And you know what though? Not every game is decided by one play too. Like listen, I love if there's one thing about the Colts, obviously like I watch them, our friends are Colts fans, like Gardner, I got to give him props because he stepped up this whole year. He had a position to put them into the playoffs. He missed a lot of throws.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of throws, and that last one on fourth down, that's a bad throw. Like
yes.
80% of the people who get thrown behind them, especially as a running back, are not making that catch. That is a tough, like, granted, again, did it hit him in the hands? Yes. But it was behind him, down near his knees. Like, you got to give him, you got to cut him some slack there. Gardner needs to throw a better ball. But that play call, at that point, dude, where's JT? You got to have him in the game. Like, none of this would have happened. I mean, maybe if JT was in too, but you got to have your best players on the field at that moment in time.
I think there's a world where JT catches that ball, but it's also like
the throw was that bad.
The throw was probably 2 yards, 3 yards behind the kid.
Yes.
And he had to do a full 360 to have any shot at catching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, here's where I don't understand the hate on this kid. It was a 4-point game. It wasn't like if he gets that first down, we can kick a field goal, now we can win. Like it wasn't happening anyways.
It just gave another opportunity to score.
Honestly,
it was not set.
You were just giving yourself another opportunity for for Gardner to throw a ball.
Yes, agreed.
That he had been doing it the whole game. There was a stretch in the second quarter where I didn't know if these teams were going to score again.
They should have I know I sound like a typical old fan, but the run game was working. JT, you had him healthy. He was there and he was the O-line was blocking, and of course
48-yard touchdown.
I think a lot of the plays that they ran were right. It's just there was a couple plays that meant more and that mattered the most that they just couldn't execute. Yep. But again, you got it. They need to address the secondary big time. Nico went crazy. CJ Stroud. Me and Dave were talking about this too. He's one, when you watch CJ Stroud, he's one of those quarterbacks, his quick draw is insane. The amount of time he takes to just get the ball out of his hands, probably one of the quickest in the games that I've seen. I mean, I don't know who else has a quicker, maybe Tua. Yep. Tua's up there too, but CJ, man,
I apologized a few weeks ago. I was wrong. I was wrong. Guess who was wrong? CJ Stroud is the guy.
He's him.
He's the guy.
He's him.
And I have a question for you. Is CJ Stroud this season, right now, as we're sitting here after week 18, I know there's still another game to be played, is he a top, I was going to say 5.
Not yet.
And now you can correct me, but is he a top 8 quarterback right now?
Right now, probably, yeah. I mean, he's probably 8.
I agree. And I was
top 10? Yes,
when I was
absolutely.
listing the quarterbacks I would put in the top 10, then top 8, there's an argument that you put him in the top 5 over some guys. And the only reason that it would hold you back is because it's his first year.
Yes.
But
that makes sense.
Now, here's where I put him in. He had no one to throw to over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He had one target, and he made great throws to the kid. They combined. It was a Michigan Ohio State combination as well, which is unheard of.
There's a truce. They don't talk about it.
Unheard of. And they balled out. I mean, dude, top 5 combo going into the playoffs. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those like what, and this is gonna go back to when we had that conversation, like who's gonna be the best in that class. Why I picked him was because of the team around him, and that's what I mentioned the most. Like, that's what I think is so important about like grading these quarterbacks or like giving you an opinion on who's gonna be better or whatnot. It's stupid, but it's the team around him. Like, dude, we know that. Like, Matt, you put Bryce Young on that team. I mean, he probably looked just as good. Who knows? Like, Carolina is that bad. Like, it's the Texans were in a position to start fresh. They had a pretty good draft. They actually might pull a Jets right now, or not a Jets, but they might have a offensive rookie of the year and a defensive rookie of the year. Like, he made Tank look good, and Tank is good.
Tank is good.
Nico,
Yep.
Nico's finally come out and like he's now the receiver that we expected him to be.
2 straight 130-yard games. Am I right there?
I think he's just, when you watch him play, granted his line has been a big help, Laramie Tunsil and those guys, but
let's.
He's a go.
Can we hold the brakes here?
Sure.
Laramie Tunsil was cracking me up last night because this dude looked like he hit the gas mask before the game in that first half. He was unreal. The dude was so jittery on that line. He kept jumping. He could have been called for 4 false starts. He only got called for 2.
Maybe he didn't hit the gas mask.
And that's why. Dude, during the first quarter, I was like, this guy looks like he's on another planet. He's hearing words come out of nowhere, and he's jumping everywhere. It was crazy.
He deserves 2 statues, one in Miami and one in Houston. That's how fucking much of an impact this guy has made
on the game. He deserves one in Canton too.
Yeah, I would not be shocked though.
In the gas mask.
It should be a gas mask
in
plaque.
The gas mask.
It shouldn't even be Tunsil. It should just be the gas mask.
If he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame,
I think that'd be hilarious.
It's not his bust. It's literally just,
I think the NFL needs that though.
You know in Star Wars when they have Darth Vader's helmet there and it's cracked and everything on the So you won't know it.
No,
do you not know it? Okay,
no,
so I'll find the clip
not a
and
Star
show
Wars
you.
Guy.
But they have like the helmet there, and it's all cracked and like everything, and then it goes to the next person, whatever. Like when they die of their head, just have the gas mask.
Okay, yeah, that's it. The NFL, Canton needs something like that because it's just so dull. You have like fans like us, like just walking through, like, what's this, Dad? And then it's just Laramie Tunsil just gas masked up. Like, no one, listen,
First time a kid learns about weed.
Respectfully, how many people actually are going to know who Laramie Tunsil is? Like, even like now, or besides the whole gas mask shit, you think people really know about Laramie Tunsil? They probably already forgotten about him.
I've never forgotten.
Well, obviously because we're good fans, but like he's a Houston Texan. Who the fuck cares about the Houston Texans? I don't see any Houston memorabilia here.
We should get like a youth large Laramie Tunsil jersey.
We should get
let's get a youth small one
with that picture on it
right here.
With that picture.
No, we'll just get a gas mask and hang it there with it.
That's fine. We could do that. But he's a stud.
He's really good.
I actually think he could be in Hall of Fame, which is funny. Like, it's
crazy.
not like out of like the ordinary that we're talking about. It's like he could actually be a Hall of Famer.
It'd be the greatest turnaround of all time.
Dude, you can compare him to who's your left tackle? He's old. Smith.
Oh, Tyron Smith. We didn't talk about the Cowboys game, but why the hell was that man in the game in the third quarter?
Okay, is that the guy with the big like arm brace?
Yeah, on which arm, Mike? It's on both. And then which leg?
Yes,
which leg? It's on both. And then you want to talk about the brace on his back? The guy's most injured. He has so many injuries. I literally said, you guys were here when I said it. Schoonmaker should be in the game at left tackle. I don't care. Put any tight end at left tackle.
Tyron Smith?
We need
Tyron Smith. Okay, gotcha. And then Tyler Smith. That's why I'm getting confused because he's another guy that just drafted. Okay.
Yeah, they play right next to each other.
Yep. Okay.
Our left side is locked.
I thought he was a tackle. He's a guard.
Well, he was. They switched him.
Gotcha.
So because Tyron Smith was injured when he came into the league, he was there.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then when he came back,
I remember that people were looking at that like, who the hell is this guy? And like another typical like random Cowboys reach. Let me ask you because I heard his name and I feel like I haven't heard it all year. Mazzie Smith. He's
been okay.
Okay.
I
Hasn't
think
lived up to
I
it
think
yet?
he's had a little bit of growing pains in the NFL and this type of game. I'm not saying he's been bad. He hasn't been bad. He's made plays, but he hasn't been. It's tough to like have your name out there and be as impactful when you have Micah Parsons and you have D. Law and it's
secondary.
tough. Yeah, it's tough when you got all these names with you. It's not like when he was at Michigan.
he's not
he's the guy and he can eat
For
everything
sure.
up.
No, that makes sense.
So like, yeah, he did well. He didn't do great. I'm not going to say he's defensive rookie of the year.
At least you could admit that.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Now, do I expect him to be better next year?
Of course.
Absolutely. He better be better because we used a first round pick on him.
Mm-hmm.
He 100% should be better.
But those guys, like
yeah.
those, like 20, like those mid-20s first round picks, like you expect them to pan out, but like you also like I don't know, depending on the position too. Like they should, but like if they don't, it's not a big deal because it's such a late pick.
Yeah.
Like it's almost a second round pick at that point.
And
You're gonna miss on a couple. It is what it is.
And the way the draft is designed, if you're in the late 20, if you're in the 20 to late 20 range,
You're just drafting
realistically,
one position of need. It might not like that's
and
it. Or for depth.
you don't need something. Like there's a reason you were in that position, so your team is already good. It's just about how can we get better? Can we find? And I know people are gonna hate that I'm saying that because they're like, oh, every draft pick. No, like come on. The Patriots took a kicker one year in the first round. Like let's be real. It ain't always about that.
Dude, I just watched Trevor Lawrence throw a ball to Ridley. Less than 2 minutes left. Dropped it.
Did you guys see this?
Yes.
Did you guys see this?
When will Yins learn? It's such a Steelers
That's awesome.
comment.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the Jags haven't won
Since.
They haven't won since. I don't think.
Or I think they're like 3-6. Yeah.
Because they won last. Yeah.
Oh no. So what happened? What I just saw was Ridley going deep down the middle, and they're down by 8, fourth quarter, less than 2 minutes, and he could have just dove. Probably had a good catch on it. Like it was like in reach, and he just dropped it.
Verbal meme. Ready? So Trevor Lawrence, when it matters, is that the female Trevor Lawrence? You know the one I'm talking about, where she wears the Clemson jersey, went to Clemson, everything. That's him in prime time when they need him most.
Well, we know this. The next time they're in the UK, how much money are we putting on them?
Thank you. I was actually going to mention that. I think it is time for the Jags to start looking at homes in the UK. I'm being serious.
They just play at Wembley.
Yeah, like it's time. I mean, I know the NFL wants to expand. They want to go to Brazil. They want to go to the UK. They want to be in China. Like, well, maybe not China anymore. Not to get political, but let's go to the UK. So how about we put them in Wembley? We'll send a team over every other week, and if their record, we'll figure out a way for them to play like 10 games and get in the playoffs.
We talked about this. There's 18 games. You play 17. There's 18 weeks in the NFL.
They could figure it out.
9 and 9. 9 in the States, 9 in Wembley, vice versa. They can make it happen, dude.
Yeah, because they'll probably go 9-0 at Wembley. Then you come over and you think you got to go 5-4 to make the playoffs, 4-5 to make the playoffs. As long as you go sub 500 somewhere in there, you're making the playoffs. But then here's what I think we do: if they're the 1 seed, the whole league goes to the UK. The UK wins it this year. They get every game. Every single playoff game goes over there. But if they aren't the 1 seed, they got to come over here for the entire month and a half, 2 months of the playoffs. And they'll lose in the first round, but they have to stay. They're forced to stay. They have to go the little leaguers when they have the baseball game.
Yeah.
Like the one game,
What was it?
Field of Dreams.
Williamsport.
Yeah, they have the Field of Dreams game.
Ooh,
They have to be like the little league kids, and they have to go to every single game.
Yeah.
So they have to get on a private jet, and they have to go to the next one. They have to wear all their Jaguars gear, and we'll sit them front row,
Helmets on,
right
pads
behind
on.
the end zone, so that every time there's a field goal or anything, they're seen and they zoom in. They're like, "Look at the kids,
Dude.
So happy to be here."
I really think it can actually happen though. Like I don't think it's out of proportion. I think
Which part?
it's doable. Well, the first 30 seconds of them actually expanding, I think it could happen, dude. Because I'm not gonna get in a fucking loophole here, but They all I'm going to say is they can make it happen.
Yeah.
Teams coming off a bye can actually fly out there and play. Khan can make it happen. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Goodell, if it's going to make him more money, it's going to make.
He's
He's gonna think about it.
He loves his pockets.
There's probably already been conversations on it. Who knows?
So let's stay in that division real quick. Let's talk about the Titans because that's an interesting spot right now. There's been a few situations here.
Great. Well, number one, great mortal pick by
Yes,
Gassy.
shout out to Gassy. Ending the
Dub,
season
dude,
strong.
dub.
Strong. Was that a 2-game win streak to end the season?
I believe it was a 1.
It was one because
All
he
right.
had the Rams last
Hey,
week.
1 is better than 0.
So me
one
and
is better
Gassy
than
finished
0.
with the same record then. We went
I'm pulling it
8-10
up
with a
right now.
push right now.
Pulling it up right now.
Oh, God.
So I finished 12
Wait.
and 7.
Okay,
I was
good.
the champion. We'll
Nice
get it.
job.
We should get a trophy.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll-
I might get a fantasy football trophy, and I'm going to put it right here somewhere.
All right, so we'll have that trophy here, and then I'll get a Mortals trophy, and we'll just keep it here, but we'll write our name on it in Sharpie somewhere.
Yeah. No, but we got to make it small, though, because this podcast is going to last for another 20 years.
Yeah, we'll get one of those fine print Sharpies.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
put it right on.
So I finished 12 and 7, championship year. Mike finished 8, 10 and 1.
Commanders.
Gassy
Every show's
finished
always a
8, 10 and
Jets.
1. So do we do a rubber match, and you both?
No. We're gonna
You just finish.
We're going to continue throughout playoffs. We're going to continue. So this is.
Oh,
what-
I don't
yeah.
agree. I think it should be 2 different records.
Okay. Well, I said that we should.
Something different for playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing, though.
No,
Like,
but their records don't go into the postseason.
Yeah, it's true, but like it's also a mortal lock record for the year. We do it on a yearly basis. No.
Oh, so what are we working on? A European year or an American year? Because we just overlap. It's a different year right now.
Yeah, it's true, but I thought that was the easiest way to do it.
I
but
think
if you
now-
want to do a regular season mortal, but that'd be kind of stupid. because-
No, I think you do regular season. They give out regular season rewards for a reason. We'll get
fine.
a playoff trophy that's bigger than the regular season one.
Fair. So what are me and Gas gonna do then? Sunday night game.
Well, no, everyone's 0-0. You guys didn't win the regular season.
All right. So Muller won. Gassy, we tied. We did great there. And then we'll just go into the playoffs with a playoff mortal. Because there is a big difference.
There is.
Playoff mortals.
There is.
Playoffs is when you really got to come alive. So
Yep.
I'm very excited for that, by the way.
Yeah. I might be like the normal Cowboys and be just a regular season team. I might not win in the playoffs.
Well, I don't even. We don't even see the playoffs, so I'm really curious to see how we're going.
That is tough. That is tough.
Yeah, we might go 0-3, 0-4.
This, well, we have wild card round will be week 19. Division, the conference championship. That's a week of 7. That's not the week we want to go over, but it's the week we might have to going into the Super Bowl.
I'm going rapid fire with that shit too. By the way,
Yeah.
we're doing rapid fire.
You
That'll
have
be
to.
fun.
Oh, it's going to be the craziest rapid fire when we get to the Super Bowl. And we're like, Mike's rapid fire. And it's one pick.
It's just one pick. Real quick, it's this because I got money on it. Bam, easy.
It's going to be a 5-second clip. It's going to be incredible.
Yo, we should think about doing something because I know you're probably gonna have a Super Bowl party here. We gotta have a massive BT following picture with everybody.
We should.
And
With the
just
trash
us in the
can.
front
With the trash can.
with the trash can.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Eagles fans will be so pissed.
that
I
would
don't
be
even know.
huge for B team.
Did we ever show the pod, like the following, what our trash can is in the office?
No.
Bit of cameras of the trash.
All right,
Also,
yeah.
want to say this real quick. Landon, Hunter, you're the man. He did receive our jersey. He's just been busy, has not been able to take a picture with
Yep,
it on.
there it is.
But he did indeed get the jersey, and there is the
Incredible.
trash can.
It's an incredible trash can. It's actually really good quality. It's a cooler. Really cool cooler. But,
Dude, that's really going to rile them up. They're going to be tight, especially after this L.
I can't believe they lost so bad today.
Any
But
other games that we want to touch on before we move into?
I'm looking through here. I think that we there's 2 things we have to talk about still.
Sure.
We have to talk about the Jets. I know you don't want to, but it's week 18. We have to talk about it. They won. They
Why?
ruined their draft pick. Mike, I have to hear your season analysis and where we're going.
Where are we going?
No, I need to hear it. The people need to
I
hear
haven't
it.
watched in 5 weeks. The last time I watched was with Gassy.
The people need to hear it.
Where are we going? Well, let's see.
Don't get mad about it.
No,
It's a
I'm
new
not mad.
season. It's a new season. You're
how
0-0.
How are
You're
you going to
0-0.
tell me not to get mad about
You're
it?
0-0. It's over, Mike.
Thank God.
The pain is gone.
The pain will forever
Aaron
linger.
Rodgers is back.
Dude, the pain is going to go into the Mets, bro.
Aaron
it's
Rodgers
not
is
gone.
back.
It's not gone.
Well, the Eagles are the Mets. So let's get into this. Where are the Jets going now that they have Rodgers? It's a new season. It's 0-0. You basically went to sleep and you woke up, and it's the year 2024. You just signed Aaron Rodgers. He's fresh off ayahuasca.
Where do I think it's going to go?
You're coming out of the darkness. You're going into the light. Where are we going, Mike?
I wish Cancun, because I deserve a vacation too after that freaking pitiful season that I watched.
That did change Zeke's turnout.
Yeah, like we should be going to Cancun, Gassy and I, after that freaking atrocious garbage season that we watched. And somehow, some way, we finished 7-10. We should have been 2-16. We didn't deserve 7-10 whatsoever. And guess what? We ruined our draft pick again. But you know what? I'm not even going to be mad about that.
What draft pick do you have?
We have number 9 now.
Good.
But
good.
I'm happy. I'm actually happy for the guys that they won. And it's crazy that I'm saying this. We finally beat the Patriots. We got that out of the way. It's done. That era is done. Belichick is done.
Let's give it up for that. Let's give it up for that.
He's done.
We did it, guys.
We survived.
We did it.
We survived, dude. We
That's
survived.
a win for the Jets. That's
That
a
is
win for the Jets.
And you know what? Where do we go from here? I mean, we finished the year 7-10 with Rodgers, maybe 9-8, maybe 10-7. But that's a lot of ifs. However, if we can just protect him, now we're in a position for the draft. We don't know if we can get a quarterback. Like, it's going to be guys like Bo Nix and maybe Ewers if he can declare for the draft. It's not going to be Caleb. It's not going to be Michael. It's not going to be Jaden Daniels. Like, those guys are out. They're out of the picture now. So we're going to have to either, number one, trade up for a quarterback, or number two, take an offensive lineman like we do every single year that never pan out. Like, that's literally our recipe every year.
One thing I will say on that is that, are you guys planning on keeping Simeon? Like, no, that's a serious question, because that changes the outlook on what you guys want to get. Because if you're looking for a guy that's going to be the backup, you guys could run into the same situation you ran into this year, and you don't want that. Now, if you keep Simeon, now you could pick someone up, and they could be in the Trey Lance role. They don't have to play. Like, they just sit there, they learn. And I know it's a joke that I normally do where I'm like, oh, look, hey, there's Trey Lance. But like, that's a serious thing that should have happened with Zach Wilson this year, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And I know that I gave you a lot of crap for it, and I riled you up.
But we were right about it, though.
But we were right about it all along. He should have been the third string. He should have never been rostered.
Yes.
And he got screwed.
We're not stupid.
Now, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone, so the sun will come out at Jets games. It'll be fun. The turf's not going to hurt anybody this year because the pain of Zach Wilson's gone. Taylor Swift's not coming back. It'll be a good year. And I think that there's enough third-string quarterbacks that aren't on rosters right now that are good that you guys could go get that could be a backup or could be that third-string guy. And one of them is Browning. And I said this earlier, but
I was not familiar with his game.
I think you need more than just Browning in that stadium. It has worked for the Chiefs. It's done wonders for them to get a girl in the stands. If you get Browning's girl in the stands in that ski imagine it all white with green trim like your jacket up in that box next to everybody that's at the game in New York. Dude,
Jets fans, I'll be happy.
Beers are going to be flying. Fireman Ed is finally, he's going to be on another planet. Like, the pace, it's going to be buzzing. It might not be for the team every week, but at least you guys will have something to cheer for each week. When a touchdown gets scored, you know that there's someone up there giving you entertainment.
Yeah, I think a lot. They're not even going to look at the field.
Go on record, I'm all for it.
Yeah, me too.
I seriously think this is the way to a positive year for the Jets.
The Jets are going to score. Aaron Rodgers find the box where she's at. They're not even going to look at the field.
This is your Taylor Swift. You guys have to go get Browning. I know he's kind of boys with guys on Cincinnati, and he's the backup there on a really good team. But let's be honest, bro. You ain't going to play next year. Go somewhere where you have a chance to play. No one knows how this Achilles is actually going to hold up. God forbid he gets injured, but you have a chance at a Super Bowl if you go there. You have a chance at actually competing for something. If you're on the Bengals, I'm sorry, but the Browns are going to be better than you if you're the quarterback. The Ravens are 100% going to be better than you, and Pittsburgh doesn't lose in the division. So you're in a terrible spot. You need to go to the Jets. If I'm Browning, I'm picking up everything. I'm taking myself and my wife to the Jets, and I'm giving the Jets something to cheer for. That's not football.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well said, because what I've noticed is the free agents, not even just quarterbacks, but running backs,
Yep.
receivers. It looks like 2015, these guys were elite, but some of them still are, and they're still lurking.
Yep.
The Jets can easily pick up one of those guys and sign him for a 1-year deal, $8 million, blah, blah, blah. Because, Jake Browning, Puka, I love that.
Oh, not Puka. I thought that Carson Wentz was going to pop up there when he threw the touchdown.
No,
Shout out to Puka, though. That's a really cool thing that he did, and I think it bumps him up for
that.
If C.J. Stroud didn't make the playoffs last night, I think Puka would have won the award after today.
Look at that company, though. Anquan Bolden, Jalen Waddle.
Ooh.
Tyler Lockett, 2 touchdowns against freaking Arizona.
Too bad
Okay,
it didn't matter. But let's not get off
stop.
topic here.
Let's
go back to what we're doing.
We have to shut this off next time.
But the game might start, so we got to go.
I know. But, so the Jets should definitely snag a quarterback.
Carson Wentz.
No. When it comes to the draft, I think number 9 is probably going to be a tackle. They're not going to trade back, none of that. But we're going to get a quarterback, either going to be late in the 3rd. It's going to be some random guy from Utah, probably BYU again. And, we'll just have him sit and learn. Any other games you want to talk about? Glad we got that out of the way.
No, we had to talk about that, and I'm glad we could talk about Browning's wife because I feel like that had to be talked about.
I was not familiar with his game.
Other than that, I mean, shout out to Pittsburgh for getting in. Shout out to Jadeveon Clowney for giving us a feel-good moment on a Saturday night when he got that sack. He was like a little kid in a candy shop. Loved that for him. Rain games surprisingly suck. It was very slow. It wasn't fun to watch, but
fun to play.
But shout out to Jordan. I'm not really sure I don't even know if I should shout you out because I don't know if you're happy or sad because Eagles got destroyed, but Pittsburgh made the playoffs, and I don't really know who you cheer for anymore. But if you still cheer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, shout out to you. You made the playoffs. Sorry about TJ Watt. I think he's not injured.
I don't care what anyone says. The Steelers making the playoffs is so ugly, and they don't even deserve to be in there. I'm sorry. They're that bad. Like, I don't know.
Can we use your phone quick?
They're terrible. They're so bad.
Can you call Jordan? Real quick. I want to call Jordan.
They are so bad.
Old stats guy.
Like, is Mike Tomlin going to come back again because they're over 500? We're going to have Jordan Spittle, old stats guy, on the phone. See if he answers.
Hello.
Yo, Jordan, it's Colin. We're live right now. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
All right. I just wanted to congratulate you on making the playoffs, but I don't know what team I'm congratulating you for. Is it Pittsburgh or the Eagles today?
Both.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Pittsburgh. I'm really happy for you. How do you think they'll do?
Typical tradition is they'll lose first round, so my expectations are bad.
Okay, so you're going to have 2 L's in the first round. Now, as an Eagles fan, where do you think this team goes, being that their quarterback sucks and all the wide receivers are injured, and I'm not sure they have a run game?
I think they also lose in the first round, and then they fire both coordinators and restart with different schemes.
All right, thank you for confirming our thoughts.
See you, Jordan.
All right, see you, bud. Thank you. Yeah, so that basically confirms everything we've been trying to tell you guys.
He just said a loss in the fucking first round.
For both of them.
That's a bold statement. I kind of like it, though.
I love it.
He has no trust in them.
From a Steagles fan.
Muller, you came in hot.
They're rare. Steagles fans are rare, but we found one.
You came in hot right there.
I feel like there's more Steagles fans than we think.
They say they're PA fans. That's what they call it.
Yeah, but I can't respect that because do they support the Penguins and the Flyers as well?
I doubt it.
Like, that's disgusting if that's the case.
That's true.
That's disgusting. I want to meet someone that cheers for both of those teams, but
how, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you don't. Okay, like granted for me, like my father was a Jets fan, your father was a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
Like your dad was a Raiders fan, but like you had a reason as to why you picked them. And that's because you like the color green. Like you were just
it was something as dumb as that.
Yeah, as a person growing up, you pick a team based on like their colors, like one player. Like that's how it always should be. Like if you're, this is nothing on Jordan, but like. I don't know how you do that. Like, I don't know how you can like 2 teams. Like, some people are like, oh, I'm just a fan of the NFL or whatever. Like, okay, Rob Lowe.
you can't like both. You can't
can't
have it
do
both
that.
ways.
Like, if I don't watch a sport a lot, like soccer, for example, like,
Yeah.
I said I like Juventus. Like,
Well,
that's one thing.
Soccer's one where I can see how you like multiple teams because there's so many leagues in the world.
Yes,
Because
fair.
but people like the same teams in the NFL, like, or in the NHL or in MLB, and that's the same league. Like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just think he's a crazy person, but ultimately,
He was our stats guy.
he was our stats guy. We love him. It was a great weekend of football.
It was.
It went very quick this season.
Dude, the
but-
regular season is over. It's just unbelievable.
Well, we have one more game, which we'll discuss on Tuesday.
All I remember is
Massive game.
last thing is Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles with Gassy at my house. That's all I remember. It was like fucking last week.
It's a new day. It's a new
It's a
season.
new day.
Jets are 0-0.
It's draft time, baby. Can't wait to watch the QB prospects.
Well,
So with
let's
that
go
being
watch
said,
this. Let's go watch this game.
everyone, thanks for tuning in, and also thanks for sticking with us throughout this whole year. Playoffs upcoming. We'll see you later.